Ladies and gentlemen, we got a 4 million IQ play here where you can get 4 skill uses out of Yukong's skill instead of 2 skill uses. We're going to go ahead and get into that right now. So one thing I want to point out off rip is her skill and her technique give the same buff, but they don't work the same way. If you use her technique to get the buff going into battle, it actually takes away a stack of her roaring bowstring. That shit is so cringe to pronounce. It takes away a stack though when you attack with her, whereas with her skill, it does not take away a stack when you attack with Yukong herself. So that is something worth pointing out, just so you can know. I'll probably put out a full guide. Let's go ahead and shoot this guy in the testicles. I'll probably put out a full guide like further down the road when I have a better understanding of her kit. But check this out. So we brought the attack with her, boom, right? And then we're gonna attack with Dan Heng, boom, boom, boom. Stacks are gone. You saw that down here. So the reason they went away is because, like I said, the technique does not operate in the same essence that the skill operates. If the skill was the one that procced the buff, I would still have one more stack left going into this guy right here. And then that would be my 2 stacks and they would be gone. Let's go ahead and back out of battle one more time so I can show you guys this 500 IQ play here. So what I've learned with Yukong, the best value you can get out of playing with her skill is to first and foremost, never use her ult until you have her skill procced, because if you use her ult without her skill being procced, you're not going to get the crit rate and crit damage boost that comes with her ult. You have to have the roaring bowstrings perk up before you pop her burst. So that's one thing, right? And it's kind of like formulating into a nuke kind of play style as I'm figuring out all of these little intricacies. The second thing is when I pop her skill, which I'm about to pop it right now. Boom. All right, everybody gets their attack percent buff. Now we have 2 stacks before it goes away. But here's the crazy thing. Your burst with your characters does not count as a turn. So you can literally use Dan Heng's skill and his burst, and then the main traveler's physical skill and his burst. And that will be 4 uses out of the roaring bowstrings, which is actually incredibly immense value. And it actually goes to show me that probably the best team comps to play with Yukong are going to be 2 DPSs, the main DPS and probably a supportive DPS. For an example, you could do Dan Heng with Welt, which will be a great synergy with Yukong because she increases all imaginary damage units' damage bonuses by 12% with her kit. That's a great lineup right there, but basically you have to line them up in a good little order here, right? Yukong first, and then the next 2 have to be your DPS dealers. So it would be Dan Heng and then Welt, and you would use their skill and their ult to get 4 uses out of the roaring bowstrings buff. Otherwise, it's going to go to waste because it will go away as soon as you go to Welt and use his skill. So let's go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. Right now we have 2 stacks. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this, boom. Then I'm gonna pop Dan Heng ult. Yeet. Then we're gonna go over to this guy. Now I'm gonna pop his skill, and now I'm gonna pop his ult. And you'll come to find out that we still have all of our stacks. Well, we didn't use our ult. I'll show that as well just to make sure you guys understand, but we still have our roaring bowstring up, and this is going to be our 4th use out of it. So ideally you want to use her burst in conjunction with the roaring bowstring skill, and then go ham. Like basically, I get what I'm trying to say here is you want to get everybody's ults up at the same time before you pop off with her ult, because otherwise it's going to be a massive loss of the roaring bowstring usage, right? You get 2 turns versus 4 turns, and in those 4 turns the ults are getting the 28% crit rate boost, the crit damage boost, and the attack percent boost. It's fucking insane. It's actually the most cracked buff in the game, bro. It's pretty wild. But you want to make sure you're using it correctly. That was a pretty scuffed run, so I want to go ahead and start back over and show the whole thing so you can understand it more properly. Okay, let's do this here real quick. So first thing we're going to do right here is just going to get rid of her regular technique, roaring bowstring buff. Let's just shoot this guy in the testicles, and then let's go ahead and pop this guy in his ass. So ideally right here, what we're doing, we're just going to get everybody's burst up, right? So now everybody's burst is effectively up. Once I use old girl's skill, her ult's gonna be up. So now the first thing we're gonna do, her ult's up, everybody's ult is up. We're gonna pop the skill to buff everybody, and then we're gonna pop the ult. Now, because the roaring bowstrings buff is up, our ult is also gonna give the entire party a crit rate and crit damage boost, including her herself, which is actually crazy. So let's shoot this guy right here. She also, I don't know their actual whole entire build, but 20K from a Harmony character? Bro, that's pretty solid. All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. Increase attack by 70%, crit rate by 26 and 58%. So he has the entire freaking, you know, package, bro. He's good to go. So let's go ahead and skill him and then pop ult, pop this guy over here. Now see, if the ult counted as 2 turns, then, well, my boy here would not have all of these buffs. But as you can see, he still has all the buffs. We're just gonna do a little auto attack and then we're gonna pop his burst. And then you'll come to find out, check this out, boys. Ooh, we still got it. So that's 4 uses out of the freaking Roaring Bowstrings buff, which is actually insane. So ideally, damn, 30K on the head. Ideally, you want to put Yukong first, right before your 2 DPSs. Main DPS, support DPS, or I don't know, maybe you're doing some double main DPS ordeal. Who knows? Whatever the case may be, that's going to be the best value when you're utilizing Yukong's skill, because it's 4 turn uses. Like I said, 5 billion IQ. GG's. Hope I brought you some value. Stay tuned. There's many more content uploads coming soon today. I'm probably going to upload like 2 more. But yeah, catch you on the flip side.